Third grade, week 23, plant parts. Teachers, we're going to make a collage of a plant, and the students can then label it, but it'll be something we can hang out in the hall for everyone to see. So let me show you how to get started on that. We're just going to take regular construction paper, kind of something other than the color of their flower here. So I picked a blue. We can't all have blue, so they'll have to pick whatever is available. I wouldn't do green because their leaves and stem are green. I'm going to start with my stem here. Just took a piece of green construction paper and cut a piece off of it. We'll be able to use several of these pieces around the room. I'm going to glue it on. We have bottles of glue for everyone. We have 22 bottles, and they need to not waste it and take care of them. So remind them of that. My dirt is a piece of brown construction paper that I tore off of this so that it's not all even ground, because as they know, ground is not just even. And to stop wasting glue, if we teach them just to dot, then I think we'll be a little more successful. But you've been teaching school long enough to know how they are with glue. All right. Now, I'm going to show you how to do a fold to make the background that I made on this flower right here. If you find that you aren't able to do it still with my instructions here, would you just email me, and I don't mind coming around to your room and getting this made before we start the flower collage, because I know how hard it is for kids to do something new with being real fast in it. So what I did is I took a piece of just plain yellow paper and I folded it corner to corner to make a square. Make sure I'm doing this in front of the camera. So I creased it good, and then I took my scissors and I cut that edge off, but I'm going to save that edge because I'm going to make my sun out of it. So I'm just going to lay that to the side. And then we've got a triangle, and we're going to keep that triangle. And I'm just going to make sure that my folded point is always on the bottom. And then I'm just going to keep folding it. And I'm going to fold it one more time. Now, I'm pretty sure third graders can do this. I think it might be a little difficult for the younger ones, but I think third grade is strong enough to do this. Now I've got my point down here. This is the part they need to remember. That's why that point's got to stay there. Because now, unbelievably, you don't want all this excess because you'll make your flower too big. So I'm just going to cut and then cut again at an angle. Then when I open it up, I have this big sunflower pattern like that. And the kids got to make it themselves, so they're kind of happy with that. And I'm going to glue that down. I'm not going to glue that down flat because I want my flower to have a little dimension, a little three-dimensional thing. So I'm just going to glue it in the middle, and now we've got something kind of raised up. Now I'm not going to color. See how I colored on this one right here? That took me a little while. This is a cupcake holder. And I colored the circle yellow, and that needs to be yellow because most flowers have pollen in them. And your pollinators are going for that yellow center. So what I did is I took an orange marker and I colored a layer. Then I took a red marker and I colored a layer. And then I didn't want any white showing, so I just kind of filled back in with my orange till I got a flower looking like this. Then I took my scissors and I cut all those little stripes. And I actually went into every other one and I cut it, so I had a little more dimension. Now, I don't know how much time this is going to take for your kids. It's not real important that it all look perfect like mine. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue this in as if I had colored the whole thing. And there I have the center of my flower. Now I'm going to put my leaves on. I made a template for your students to make their leaves, but I just cut mine out of paper, and I'm going to get my leaves put on. So, leaf on this side, and a leaf on this side. It's important that they get these 2 leaves on here because they're going to have to label them. So now I've got that so far. Now I've got to make some roots. So we're going to take this crochet string. I'm just going to get me a piece off. I'm going to kind of wad it up, cut it off, and kind of keep folding it over and looping it. That's about what I want right there. I'll cut my loops. I'm going to put me some glue down on my dirt here. And I'm going to actually make some legs with my glue so my string has a place to go. I'm going to stick it on there. I found the easiest way to do this is with a pencil because your fingers tend to stick and they can kind of separate those down and get them in their gluey spots. If they don't want it hanging down below their paper, they can just trim them off. The sun. We've got to have sun because without the sun we're not getting many plants. So I just took this piece of paper. It's going to be kind of small. 3rd grade should be able to figure this out. And I just made a half sun right here on the edge. And I took those little scraps and I'm going to make sun rays. I noticed that kids get really carried away making the sun. The sun is important, but it's not the main theme here. So I think you're going to kind of have to rush them through their sun to get anything, to get this completed. I'm just quickly going to get my sun rays on here. Right there they are. And now I need some rain because without water we're not going to get any plants. So I'm going to take my glue and I'm going to make dots. And they're going to dry on here as if they're water. The last thing I'm going to do is make me a pattern with my seeds. And I have some sunflower seeds here. And you'll see that on mine, I did kind of make a pattern. Now, we may run out of time, so don't feel like you have to make this perfect pattern like I did. But these seeds and this pollen are arranged on this flower to attract those pollinators. That's why seeds have this pattern. It's like a landing pad for those bees and butterflies to land there and get that pollen. So I'm going to put one more in here in the middle. And then I'm going to give you a worksheet that has all the labels on it. So the kids can actually write on this picture and label what plants need in order to adapt, survive, and their basic needs. So we got roots, stem, leaves, petals on the flower, seeds, sun, and water. So have fun.